cultivation of land, rearing of farm animals. Cultivation of land, rearing of farm animals. So you need to cultivate, like prepare the land so that you plant your crops, right? And then rearing of animals is you are training the animals to grow, right? Like what I was telling somebody the other day, I was saying, you don't rear wild animals, right? So you don't rear lion, you don't rear tigers. If not, no matter how a lion loves you, no matter how a python loves you, if they get angry, they will eat you. In fact, there was a woman training a python. She takes care of the python. At night, the python will cuddle her like this and they will sleep together. So she's so comfortable playing with the python. After some time, the python stopped eating. If she gave the python food, the python will stop eating. So she took the python to the vet doctor. The vet doctor said that the python is starving herself so that she will be very, very hungry enough to swallow the woman. So no matter how the wild animal loves you, sometimes they will just turn against you. But no matter how a goat will not fight the owner, right? No matter how a cat will not avoid the owner. So it is cultivation of land and the rearing of domestic animals. Okay? So we look at agriculture as the art and science. So why we say science? Because agriculture is what? Science. Actually, so people are saying agriculture is a social science. No, agriculture is a pure science. Pure science. It's not like it's a social science. Agriculture is pure science. So on management that deals with cultivation of crops and the rearing of animals for man use. They rear animals for man use. Man uses the crops and man feeds on the animals. What is crops? Can you give an example of a crop? You know? Example of a crop. Just, they have different kinds of crops, right? Like leguminous crops, right? A lot of leguminous crops, cereals, okay? A lot of nuts, forage crops, and many other crops. So those are types of crops. So man cultivates land to plant his food, which are known as crops, okay? And rearing of farm animals. Alright, so this means it refers to all the activities involving cultivation of the soil for the production of what? Crops. You need to cultivate the land for you to produce. If you just take some pieces of corn and just throw on the land, it might germinate. There is a possibility of it germinating, but it is not. The possibility is not as high as when you till the ground, make a ridge, add a little bit of fertilizer, and consciously plant the corn. There are 90% chances that corn will germinate, right, in the right condition. But when you just throw it, just scatter corns like that, there are 20% possibility of it germinating, right? Because birds in the air can eat it, rodents can eat the corn can still decompose and still not grow. Because there is not enough soil covering this plant for it to germinate. Seeds germinate inside the soil, not on the surface, right? If you pour, no matter the amount of rice you pour on this classroom now, it will never germinate, right? Because it's not inside the soil, right? And there should be rainfall, there should be sunlight, there should be enough manure nutrients in the soil for the seeds to germinate. Okay? So the term agriculture is derived from two Latin words we know as age and culture. And this agriculture, so scientists found that it did not really capture the concept of agriculture. Since agriculture is the cultivation of land and rearing of farm animals. Now, ag means feed or farm or land. So you can call ag a field or a farm or a land. Okay? The next one is culture, which means cultivation, right? I told you, cultivation means to make produce. You try to prepare the land for planting, right? Those are pre-planting activities you need to carry out on a farmland before you start planting the crops. So by this, agriculture means field cultivation. Now, if agriculture is just field cultivation, you see, it doesn't really encapsulate the meaning of agriculture. So this word, right, agricultural science, actually, if we break it down in the Latin words, it doesn't encapsulate the entire meaning of agriculture. Because if it does encapsulate the entire meaning of agriculture, we would have said agriculture is just field cultivation, right? Or cultivation of land, right? Which is part of it, but it's not complete, because it's somebody that is training, rearing goats or chickens is also into agriculture. Somebody that is training pigs and snails is also into agriculture. They may not be going into land, but they are also an aspect of agriculture. So the best way to put it is that agriculture deals with the cultivation of crops and the rearing of animals for the use of man. Yes, but all of them is for the use of man. So look at the branches of agriculture. There are several branches of agriculture, but I was able to shorten it so that we don't write much notes. So we look at branches of agriculture, we look at animal science or animal husbandry or animal protection. Those of you that did your last junior life, you must have had animal husbandry, right? You must have also had animal science, right? You must have had animal science and animal production. So animal science, animal husbandry or animal production ensures the efficient and effective management of farm animals. Management of farm animals. Where somebody is into animal husbandry, you see, this person is rearing sheep, this person is rearing rams, this person is rearing goats. So it's management. Animal produce, right? You see chickens producing eggs and hatching the eggs, and then they are taking care of it. So that is animal science. Okay? Effective management of animal science is ensure better animal productivity. Okay? These are the branches of agriculture. We also have veterinary medicine for animal health. There are some people that goes to school not just to study animal medicine and surgery, or maybe to be a pharmaceutical doctor, a person that produces medicine. Actually, do you know the people that are into pharmaceutical activities? Some of them makes more money than medicine and surgery doctors. You know, because the pharmaceutical industry makes huge amount. When I mean huge amount of money, they make huge amount of money. You know, if you work as a pharmaceutical industry, you can even handle drugs as dangerous that ordinary people cannot handle. If they see these drugs in the hands of ordinary people, they might arrest them or incarcerate what they're using. But if you are a pharmaceutical registered doctor, you can handle any kind of drug because you are into making drugs, right? If they tell you the kind of contents that are in some kind of drugs, you will not want to take it. For example, do you know that the first Coca-Cola that was made, okay, contains cocaine? Yes, the first Coca-Cola that was made contains cocaine. It was not banned when it was made, it was legal, and because it contains cocaine, it made it addictive. It made it what? Addictive. Because cocaine drug is addictive. So it is sweet and it's addictive. So you want to be taken. Then when somehow the research and found that makes it addictive. In fact, I believe that cocaine that makes stomach noise, that cocaine they added into Coca-Cola made it that people rush into that kind of beverage and it made it blue, right? Because a lot of people started taking it, right? So, and we also have energy energy aspect of it. Now, when they now research about it, they say, oh, cocaine is really harmful for the human body. They now say, okay, well, you guys are going to remove cocaine. They now replace it with caffeine. They now replace it with caffeine. Caffeine is also a drug, but the side effect of caffeine is not that dangerous like cocaine because caffeine can make you alert. Have you ever found that when you take a beverage, you seem to be a little bit awakened or alert? For example, you take Coca-Cola or Pepsi, right? You see yourself a little bit hyperactive, like there's a sludge of energy, right? Because of the caffeinated is a caffeinated drink. It can make you alert. Okay, and you can also see caffeine in things like tobacco or cola nuts. You see this red outside cola nut. You see caffeine in it because it's caffeinated, right? So that is why some of these things are addictive because they are drugs, but they are not as dangerous as cocaine, so disallowed. Most Coca-Cola products are caffeinated. In fact, if you look at the contents of Coca-Cola, you just get the Coca-Cola bottle, check the contents, what the attitude you see caffeine, or you say it's caffeinated drink. Okay, some of them use the word carbonated, okay, but all of them are caffeine. Alright, so veterinary medicine, animal health, with the veterinary medicine provides better health management for farm animals. It ensures the control of pests, parasites, and diseases of farm animals. Either they are, I know of somebody that have a dog, they have a bulldog. The dog became sick. So who will they take it to? They cannot take the dog to where human beings go for treatment. They'll take it to a veterinary doctor, veterinary medicine. There are people that take care of their cats so much so that they take the cats to vet. Have you ever seen such kind of cats? They pamper the cat, they wear the cat's clothes, they take care of the cat so much so that they even give the cat injection, periodical injection. There are some dogs that are giving periodical injection that even if they bite you, you don't have the effect, right? Because it's being taken care of by a veterinary doctor. So it's really amazing. Veterinary animal health. It is advisable if you like pets, like cats or dogs, you periodically take them to veterinary doctor. I once lived in a house where they have two dogs. Okay, two dogs. These dogs, they have periodical veterinary checks where every 3 months they take them to vet, they inject them. So when they inject them like this, when you play with these dogs and these dogs see them licking, you lick your face, lick your whole body, you're not afraid. Why? You're not afraid. Why? Because they inject them injections that neutralize any poisonous aspect of this dog, right? If it neutralizes every poisonous aspect of this dog, it makes this dog harmless, okay, to the owners, right? So even if they lick on you and they play with you, you know that you are not susceptible to diseases, right? It is wonderful. But if you play with some of these street dogs, right? You see some of these dogs around that are not well taken care of. If they bite you or maybe the saliva goes on your body and you don't wash it off, you might have a serious problem. I don't know what's against you. What is that that you're laughing at? What are you laughing at? Okay? Alright. So the next one is horticulture or snaily branch of agriculture. So when you hear about horticulture, you talk about snail. Horticulture talks about snail. How many of you know about people training snail? Okay? There is this agricultural rare snail. You see them very big, massive. Anyway, snail is a very nice protein kind of meat, which if you take, it will make you healthy. In fact, science are beginning to find out the nutritional aspect of snaily business, because if you consume snail more, you tend to have good protein than somebody eating goats. Yes, even though the chicken is a white source of protein, which is also healthy, but snail is really nice because it doesn't have protein, have some kinds of vitamins that are good for your body. So it involves the production of snails for the production as a source of protein and minerals. So snail doesn't just give you protein, it gives you minerals. So apiculture. So what is apiculture? Yes, what is apiculture? You don't know. Why are you laughing? Well, if you're paying attention, you will see that I wrote it clearly there that it's bee farming, right? Did you see it on the board? Did you see it? Did you see bee farming? No, you didn't really see it. If you saw it, you would have known that apiculture. Right? It promotes the production of honey for local consumption and uses. Now, when someone is into the rearing of bees, you see them, rear bees in boxes or drums and stuff. And then these bees produce honey. So they take care of the bees give them honey, which is what we consume. So people use honey in place of sugar, right? So people use honey in place of sugar because they found out that the sugary aspect of honey is not as dangerous as sugar, right? So it's best to take honey. So people use it in their tea. Maybe some of the people that used to drink garri like this, they add honey. It's really, really nice. Even if you add honey in your tea or any kind of beverage you want to take, taking honey is really nice. Even there are some medicinal aspects of putting hot water and then adding honey. You just take it, it has some medicinal aspect of it. So look at fishery. Fishery, it promotes the production of fish and its management, the processing and other fishing practices. Some of you have seen catfish, right? You see people taking care of catfish maybe along the way, yes, maybe in the market. You see them taking care of catfish in a big bowl or basins, right? Those are kind of fishery. Even though some of them must have harvested it in their fish pond. You can create a fish pond. You can even use GP tanks, right? Just cut it into two. Use one side. You put it in. Yes. What do you say? GP tank. You've not seen a GP tank. You don't know what the GP tank. I don't know if there's a GP tank out here. I could have shown you. But GP tanks are these massive tanks. You know the tank. And this massive tank they use for storing water. So water reservoir. Okay? So water reservoir. They use it for storing water. Actually, why we use the word GP is that company is a common company that builds those plastic tanks. Okay? GP, we used to say it like written GP. Okay? That's how we used to use the word GP. But there are different and various kinds of tankers that are used as water reservoirs. There are even steel tanks we use in this purpose. Anyway, fishery, you can also use block method technology whereby you create a cemented platform where you keep blocks around, and then you have inlets where you pump in water, and then outlets where you take out water. But it's advisable when, after cementing this environment, you tie it, okay? Tie it so that water cannot penetrate between the gap of the cementing. Now, when you tie this, both the body of this fish pond and then the floor part of it, and then when you tie it and you pour water in it, routinely it's advisable to take away the dirty water and then pour in fresh water, because fishes like clean water. They don't like dirty water. If the water becomes so toxic and dirty, it might end up killing the fish. Okay? The fish will not survive. So at intervals we also put feeds, and then the fish will eat. And then when the fish is reproducing, because those fish can reproduce, when they reproduce, it is advisable for you to bring out the little fish, because fish can prey on itself, they eat themselves. So if they are little fish, you remove the little fish to a different portion and then leave the bigger fish within themselves. So now, I have an assignment for you. You are going to explain this aspect for me, agronomy. You will explain what's the meaning of agronomy, what's the meaning of crop pathology and entomology. And then you state the functions of this, veterinary medicine and agricultural extension. And also, you tell me what are agro-based industries. Okay, any questions? Yes. Yes? You can just go with me. Any question? Very good. Very good. So, having said that, we'll be stopping here for today. Next class, we'll be going into we did agri class, right? Next class, we'll be doing either civic